Hi everyone, welcome back. Dear students, in this session, we'll discuss Clever Tenali Ramakrishna, a reading passage from Unit 1 of a Class 6 English textbook. Look at this picture. What do you see in this picture? It's the court of a kingdom. What's the kingdom name? It's Vijayanagaram kingdom. And who is this emperor sitting on the throne? He is none other than Emperor Srikrishna Devaraya. And who is this person? Let's learn who this person is. And do you know any funny incident connected with this picture? You mightn't know. Let's learn an interesting story. Clever Tenali Ramakrishna, Chitravarma, was the most famous painter in Srikrishna Devaraya's court. The emperor was pleased with Chitravarma's paintings. People also liked his paintings. So, Chitravarma was a painter in Srikrishna Devaraya's court. He paints quite well and he is appreciated by one and all in the kingdom. One day, Chitravarma was busy painting. Then, Emperor Srikrishna Devaraya happened to visit him. One day, Chitravarma was busy painting. At that moment, Srikrishna Devaraya happened to visit him. Then what happened? Here goes the conversation of characters. Chitravarma says, "Welcome, Your Majesty." Your Majesty means a title of our respect addressing to king or queen. Srikrishna Devaraya says, "Oh, what a beautiful picture! It looks so natural." Srikrishna Devaraya gets impressed with the painting of Chitravarma. He appreciates him. Then courtiers say, "Yes, Your Majesty, really it's wonderful." Then Srikrishna Devaraya adds, "No painter on earth can compete with you, Chitravarma. You are a unique painter. You shall be rewarded. What do you say, Ramakrishna?" Here, an interesting word is seen. Unique. Unique means one of its kind, unmatched. Srikrishna Devaraya addressed at Ramakrishna. Who is Ramakrishna? Ramakrishna is the court jester of Vijayanagar kingdom. Well, what does Ramakrishna say? "Yes, my lord, such an artist he is. He deserves your encouragement." Ramakrishna too appreciates the painter. Then Sri Krishna Devaraya says, "That's great. Let him ask for anything. He shall get whatever he wants." Then Chitravarma says, "Thank you very much, Your Majesty. It's all your affection and encouragement." Chitravarma humbly thanked Sri Krishna Devaraya. Then what happened? Sri Krishna Devaraya adds, "Your presence in council of advisors will be a boon to Vijayanagar Empire." Chitravarma says, "I am afraid I am not Your Majesty. Your blessings are worth the strength of 1,000 elephants." "Your Majesty, I am afraid I am not deserved for such honor. Your blessings are enough for me, which give me strength of 1,000 elephants." Sri Krishna Devaraya says, "No, a great painter like you should be rewarded in a fitting manner." Then Chitravarma says, "Your Highness is merciful." So it's an acceptance of the honor. Sri Krishna Devaraya says, thinking for a while, he snapped his fingers. Then what happened? Chitravarma says, "What I cannot understand, how I am blessed, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, I cannot understand how I am being blessed by you." Then Ramakrishna says, "Excuse me, Your Majesty, he is talented in painting, but would it be a right decision to make him?" Sri Krishna Devaraya says, "The Emperor of Vijayanagar knows what is right. Minister, please make an announcement that Chitravarma will be the chief advisor hereafter in our court." Minister says, "As Your Majesty, I will make an announcement in our empire." Minister says he would obey the order of Sri Krishna Devaraya. So, Chitravarma was appointed one of the ministers of the court. From then, what happened? Let us see. Chitravarma's plans and actions led to confusion everywhere. Chitravarma's actions and plans led to confusion everywhere. He had never handled the matters of court before. He had no experience in handling the matters of the court before. His decisions were irrelevant. His decisions were not relevant. Not relevant means irrelevant. His conclusions lacked sense. His conclusions lacked sense. With this, the people grew impatient. They were impatient. Why did they impatient? Because the plans and actions of Chitravarma were irrelevant to the court activities. Yet, the emperor continued to support him. Even then, the emperor continued to support Chitravarma as an advisor to him. Then, the elders of the empire decided to seek help from the court's jester Tenali Ramakrishna in this matter. Then all the elders of the kingdom approached Tenali Ramakrishna and sought his help in this regard. Tenali Ramakrishna told them that he had an idea and assured them not to worry. Tenali Ramakrishna assured them not to get worried because he had thought of a plan how the issue be solved. One day, Tenali Ramakrishna approached the Emperor Srikrishna Devaraya. One day, Tenali Ramakrishna approached Srikrishna Devaraya. Then what happened? Ramakrishna says, "Your Majesty, you know that I have been blessed with a baby boy. I will be happy if you visit my house for my boy's naming ceremony tomorrow." Ramakrishna recently was blessed with a baby boy. And tomorrow, it's going to be naming ceremony of his kid. Then, he invited Srikrishna Devaraya to his home. Then what did Srikrishna Devaraya say? "Oh, wonderful! It's my pleasure, Ramakrishna." The emperor visited Ramakrishna's house the next day. As promised, he visited Ramakrishna's house the next day. What happened then? Ramakrishna says, with a bouquet of flowers in his hands. Ramakrishna with a bouquet of flowers. B-O-U-Q-E-T, not bouquet. Bouquet. "Welcome, Your Majesty. We are grateful for your visit. Please bless my son." Sri Krishna Devaraya says, "Dirghayushman Bhava. This is a token of my love." The emperor puts a gold chain around the baby's neck. Dirghayushman Bhava means may you have a long life. Sri Krishna Devaraya presents a gold chain to the baby boy. Then Ramakrishna says, "Thank you very much, Your Majesty. You are requested to join us for lunch." Your Majesty, you are requested to join my lunch. Sri Krishna Devaraya accepted the wish of Ramakrishna. Then it was lunchtime. Sri Krishna Devaraya was served meal by Ramakrishna. After having tasted, Sri Krishna Devaraya says, "Oh, water, water, give me water, urgent." Courtiers, "Oh God, water, water." "Oh my God, what is happening here?" Sri Krishna Devaraya says again, "Hey Ramakrishna, what's this? Horrible dishes." Sri Krishna Devaraya criticized it bitterly. He commented the dishes were horrible. Courtier 1 says, "It's too spicy." Courtier 2 says, "Too salty too." Courtier 3, "Not cooked properly. It's undercooked." Courtier 3 says, "It was not cooked properly. It was undercooked." Then what happened? Sri Krishna Devaraya says angrily, "Who cooked this? Is this the way to cook food?" Courtiers, "Do you want all of us to die?" The courtiers cry, "Do you wish all of us to die?" Ramakrishna says with folded hands, "Please forgive me, sir. Let me introduce the cook to you." Ramakrishna is all set to introduce the cook who had cooked the food. Sri Krishna Devaraya responds, "Bring him at once or you will be punished." Ramakrishna says, presenting a carpenter, "This is the best carpenter in Vijayanagar. He is a brilliant worker. I gave him the task of cooking for today." Your Majesty, he is our today's cook. He is the noted carpenter in our kingdom. And he was asked to cook food and he had done his job. Sri Krishna Devaraya says, Are you crazy? Ramakrishna, he may be an excellent carpenter. How can he be a cook? Ramakrishna, have you gone crazy? He's an excellent carpenter, but he doesn't know how to cook. Then how did you make him to cook food? Ramakrishna says, pardon me, your majesty, a painter can be your chief advisor. Why can a carpenter not be a cook? Here, a wonderful logic has been quoted by Tenali Ramakrishna. What did he say? If a painter has taken up the responsibilities of a chief advisor of Emperor Srikrishna Devaraya, why can't a carpenter be made a cook? Srikrishna Devaraya gets realized, lost in thoughts, shaking his head slowly. He lost in thoughts, shaking his head slowly, and then says, Ramakrishna, you opened my eyes. You made me realize my mistake. You made me realize my mistake. Then Chitravarma says, I was afraid to say, no, your majesty. I am very thankful to you if I am sent back to my previous job. Also, Chitravarma requested Emperor of Vijayanagar Kingdom, please give me permission to go for my previous job. Then what does Srikrishna Devaraya say? Minister, make necessary arrangements to send him back. Ramakrishna says, thank you very much, your majesty. All said and done. What does the Ramakrishna say finally? Thank you very much, your majesty. Yes. All the people assembled there hailed Tenali Ramakrishna for his presence of mind. All the people assembled there praised Tenali Ramakrishna for his presence of mind in solving the problem. That's the end of the story. And now, let's learn important words and their meanings from this interesting story. Your Majesty. Your Majesty means a title of respect used while addressing king and queen. Unique, one of its kind, or unmatched. Grateful, thankful. Snapped, made a sudden sound by the fingers. Advisor, one who offers advice. Impatient, eager. Assured, promised. Announcement, a public notice. And now some comprehension questions and their answers. Who was Chitravarma? Chitravarma was a painter in the kingdom of Emperor Srikrishna Devaraya. Who was Tenali Ramakrishna? Tenali Ramakrishna was court jester. What was the new task endorsed to Chitravarma? Chitravarma was made the chief advisor of Emperor Srikrishna Devaraya. Who invited Srikrishna Devaraya to his home for the naming ceremony of his kid? Tenali Ramakrishna invited Srikrishna Devaraya for naming ceremony of his baby boy. Who cooked the food? A carpenter cooked the food. Who taught a lesson to Srikrishna Devaraya? Tenali Ramakrishna taught a lesson to Srikrishna Devaraya. Why was the emperor angry with Tenali Ramakrishna? The emperor was angry with Tenali Ramakrishna because the emperor was served with horrible dishes by Tenali Ramakrishna. Why were the dishes horrible? The dishes were horrible because it was cooked by a carpenter but not a cook. So, dear students, this is all about the story of clever Tenali Ramakrishna. You are hoped to practice maximum number of comprehension questions and their answer, vocabulary and grammar exercises given at the end of Unit 1 from this unit. That's all about today's session, and I will come up with yet another interesting topic in my next session. Until then, bye. Thanks for watching.